Hey guys, AirTS here, Air for short. I'm going to summon the Fire Brownie Magician today. He was a Hall of Heroes many months ago, and I'm yet to summon him as I haven't had a use for him, but today I decided that I know what I'm going to use him for. I'm also going to discuss the runes for this monster, and keep in mind that these are just suggestions and you don't need to follow them if you don't want to, but also feel free to leave any suggestions in the comment section below if you can think of a rune setup that's better than whatever I suggest. So let's summon him. Ba-boom. It's weird, no lightning. He is 4-star. Anyways, so as you can see, he is a support type, and his skills are Run, bounces towards the enemy to attack, and gets another turn with a 30% chance. So this skill doesn't do any debuffing or anything, but it does give him a chance to have another attack. So that being said, it doesn't mean that he will definitely use Run again. If it procs, he will possibly use his other two skills as well. So 30% is pretty high, and I'm going to suggest definitely Violent Runes with him, which would increase the 30% to about, I think it's about a 50%. We've got Fly, attacks all enemies with giant orbs, decreasing their defense for 1 turn. This attack lands as a crushing hit regardless of the enemy's attribute, and it's reusable every 4 turns. So 1 turn to lower defense isn't great, as a lot of monsters will end up having their turn, which would remove the debuff. However, because he has this first skill, the chances of him using this skill often are increased, and if you've got other monsters that are faster, they can take advantage of that defense. Now, crushing hit regardless of the enemy's attribute means that it's not going to do any glancing hits. Now, the thing with skills and debuffs is if it lands as a glancing hit, the debuff won't proc. So that being said, with this skill, he can possibly lower the defense of any monster. Even though he's a fire type, it will work on water types. And then it is a 100% proc rate, so he will definitely try to lower the defense. So he's going to need accuracy. Then we've got Whistle. Blows a whistle to recover 30% of the attack gauge of allies and gives immunity effect for 2 turns. So that's really great. 30% is a lot for the attack gauge, and immunity is really useful. For 2 turns, it's not bad, it's standard. And it's reusable every 5 turns. Now, I'm assuming that you can get that down to maybe every 4. I doubt they would do every 3, so you might be able to get it down to every 4 turns. And then, of course, with this first skill, the cooltime almost doesn't even matter. So he's got some great skills. He's definitely a support type. He's got a debuff here. He's got immunity buffing and filling the attack gauge. And then he has the chance to do multiple hits. So obviously Violent Runes are really great for this monster. He's designed to have a lot of turns, and he would replenish the immunity a lot, and he would land this defense break. So you want to maybe go Violent and Focus with this monster. That is one definite and very common way of ruining this monster. And then I would do Speed on slot 2, and HP percent on 4 and HP percent on 6 with accuracy substats and speed substats. Now, if you can't get accuracy substats, then the defense break won't be as reliable, which isn't awful. This monster is more about the immunity, but you want him to at least contribute to the battle, so accuracy is important. If you can't get accuracy substats, put accuracy on 6, but you want to replace that with HP because you need him to stick around. These guys aren't usually able to take a hit, so you've got to give them a lot of HP. Another thing you could do with this monster that I don't know if a lot of people do is Despair Runes. This skill does hit all enemies, and the chance of stunning would be great. And then a Despair Rune also, he would hit multiple times with his first skill, so every single time he uses that first skill, he would have a chance to stun. So that's nice and useful. Obviously, the third skill won't have any chance because it doesn't attack at all. So, Despair is not a bad idea. Despair Focus again, just for the defense debuff here. And then if you go Despair, I'd say the same thing. Speed, and then HP percent on 4 and 6. or accuracy on 6 if you can't get accuracy substats. I think that's pretty much what you want to rune this monster anyways. He's not really going to be a strong attacker. I don't think he's designed to attack a lot, so I wouldn't really rune him in like a fatal or give him any attack percentages. Only if you're really, really lacking attacking fire monsters, then I would do it, but only until you can get somebody who's much better, and there are much better monsters you can get for attack. Now, if you can't do violent, then a great thing to supplement is swift. You could go swift runes with him and swift focus. Keep in mind, if you don't want to do focus runes, you can replace that with energy runes. That would be really useful. Or another thing you could do is nemesis runes. So every amount, it's like every 7% of his attack gauge that's lowered increases, or every 7% of his HP increases his attack gauge by like 5% or something like that. So Nemesis would be really useful. You could go Violent Nemesis, but I think accuracy is more important for him. And yeah, so we've got Violent Focus, Violent Energy, or Violent Nemesis, Despair Focus, or Despair Nemesis, or Despair Energy, Swift Focus, Swift Energy, or Swift Nemesis. Now, Revenge runes won't work the way that you would want them to. You would think that a Revenge, if he counters, he'll have the 30% chance of attacking again. I do not believe that would work with this first skill. The only thing that a counter usually involves is any sort of debuffing that a first skill has, but as far as getting an extra turn, I don't think a counterattack can give him extra turns. Yeah, so those are my suggestions. Leave any suggestions of your own in the comment section below. I know I'm going to team this guy up with Verdaheil, Hua, and Chloe, and I think that it would be a really, really powerful and strong fire team. Till next time, guys. Peace.